guys, welcome back. This is Jenny from Polly's Paper Studio, and today I'm going to share with you how I created this vintagey Easter card with the purple and green ribbon club assortment for February from Really Reasonable Ribbon and the Cottontail collection from BoBunny. So let's make this together. So here is my February ribbon club assortment, purple and green, so perfect for Easter and the upcoming summer projects you'll be making. Has a great variety of satins. There's stitch satins, there's polka dots and grosgrain. So this is a great inspiration for my project. So I've got my card base all set here, and it is just a 5 by 6.5 inch card. I finished the inside with the companion paper, so it's all set to work on the cover. Here is my first layer of pattern paper. This is double matted, so I have lavender and green, sagey green and very light lavender. Not only is it going to be a great match for the ribbon club, but it also coordinates perfectly with this paper because it's sort of vintagey, so the colors are a little bit softer and a little more subtle. And so this is going to be like a dot but bigger, and that is my first layer on the bottom. Now you can see that we're many layers into this card already, and it is getting quite sturdy and substantial, which is just how I like it. So my next layer, I'm coming back in with that green matting. This time I have foam behind it. That's the craft foam, and it's just going to start to build the dimensions. So I'm going to add wet glue to that and then get that set in place. This is right in the center again, leaving a larger border than what I usually do. So this is going to be 1/4 of an inch around all the sides, and that will help to show some of that sweet pattern. I'm still going to go with that double matting layer. Here's that lavender, and then for the final pattern paper, this is that dot, and it has all of the sweet Eastery colors in it, so pink and purple and green and yellow, and it's a very small dot, so this is going to read as a neutral in the background. So my next addition is going to be these leaves, and they are from Little Birdie Crafts, part of one of the flower sets. I liked that this shape sort of mimicked the die cut that I'm going to work with. So this is just basically a frame that has a scalloped edge, and that foliage seems to mirror that edge pretty nicely, so I'm going to use that as sort of a additional frame. And since most of it's going to be hidden underneath that white frame, I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the leaves, and that will be underneath the next layer and it will not show. One is right side up and one is upside down to get that shape that I need to work around the frame. So this one is just cut with crisp white, and you can see how it's going to hide that glue that squished out. I'm just putting this layer down with double-sided adhesive, and that will work perfectly to hold down the rest of those leaf edges. Then I'm going to top it off with the third pattern from this collection, and this helped to inspire the flower choices because it is a bit of an ombre purpley effect. It starts lighter and gets darker as it goes through, so I knew I would be able to work different levels of purpley flowers and they would coordinate perfectly. I did not have the matching oval shape that went into this particular die, so I just flipped it over and traced the inside ring of the die, and that way I know it would work perfectly in that shape. So the focal image for this card is this bunny, and I really love that it's very vintagey. So I decided that because it's a focal point, I did want to raise that up again with foam and because it was a die cut that came with the collection pack, I decided to back it with 110-pound cardstock before I added the foam layer, and that way I know that it will be very sturdy and hold its shape well. It was not easy to cut out around all those little fussy bits, but definitely worth it, I think, because it adds so much depth to this card. So I want that rabbit to go right here. I know it's overlapping just a bit, but because we added those extra layers, I am confident that those ears will be supported. So back in with the wet adhesive, and I'm just missing the very top of his ear because I don't want there to be glue gushing out underneath. So I'm just going to add that right here. I think this is a great combination of vintagey greens. They're all just a tiny bit different, but they work together with the bow. Hold that in place just for a bit while that adhesive sets up. Pulled a small silvery charm from my stash in a clip to add, and this has just a very small bit of string here, and I think that I'm just gonna clip it on with this, and that way it will be a nice accent when I add the rest of the layers. Now that is a pretty little accent. For the bow, I just tied my standard poofy bow topped with twine and a vintage button, and that's just gonna go right here at the top. And then I have a flower arrangement that I created like I do off project so that I can arrange all my flowers and different leaves and twine bows so that I know it will fit well on my project. And so I've got a combination here of Little Birdie Crafts. These are Petaloo, and this is one of the magnolia flowers from Really Reasonable that I took the center out and replaced with this different stamen. This is the gray. I just picked that up. You'll have seen that in my stash video that I just did on Monday, and I think that it really helps to create a better vintagey feel than the yellow center, which is good for some projects but not always, so it's nice to have that option to switch it out. So this is all just arranged in glued together on the back so that I can add it as one solid unit here, and that is going mostly to the bottom and left of middle. So that is all for my vintage Easter card created with the purple and green February Ribbon Club assortment. I will leave links in the description below for that Ribbon Club assortment, as well as our social media platforms, so you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and our blog and our Etsy shop. If you enjoyed this project, give me a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye!